Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today you are joining me in my Audi A7, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about wheel spacers. If you've been following the channel for the last few years, you'll know that I've always ran lowering springs complemented by wheel spacers for that perfect ride height and stance, and that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing on the Audi A7. Now, like on my M140i, my M4, the G23 series, and probably a few other cars, I've had them lowered and I put spacers on just to give you that perfect stance. I've never really had the urge to do anything like that on the A7 because I kind of think that the A7, and pretty much all Audis to be honest, as stock ride height sits lower compared to any other BMW equivalent. So with this A7, I never really had the urge to kind of fit spacers on because I kind of thought the wheels don't look too bad. And I had to set off like the BMW spacers when I sold the M4 or one of the cars anyway, that were just lying around, and I thought, why don't I just go and try and get those fitted. Now those ones were 12mm on the front and 15 on the rear, and obviously I had all the longer wheel bolts. But the thing is, if you are running BMW spacers on your BMW and you then buy an Audi, the first thing that you notice is that those BMW spacers will not fit an Audi, and the reason for that is that the center hubs are slightly different. Now I always advise to go for hub centric wheel spacers because they actually fit onto the hub rather than onto the wheel, and the idea being is that they have a better fitment, I suppose. So the hub on a BMW compared to an Audi is completely different, so your BMW spacers are not going to fit on an Audi. So that was the first lesson that I learned straight away. So what I then did was I then traded in my BMW spacers for some Audi ones. So the wheels at the front on this Audi felt like they were a little bit more pinched in compared to, like say, a BMW, and a 12mm spacer probably wouldn't have done much. So I've gone and I fitted 15mm spacers all the way around. Now I think that the stance on this car looks pretty good. Here's a few montage shots that I'm going to throw in for you guys to enjoy, and let me know what you guys think of the way that the car now looks. So I've now been running these wheel spacers for a few weeks, and I've been doing my daily commute to work, the occasional blast on the country lane, and pretty much using this car as a daily with this setup. And previously, whenever I've ran, like say, lowering springs, spacers, it's never really disrupted the handling on the car. But on this car, I don't know whether it's like the Quattro system or whether it's the square tyre setup, the 255/35 profile tyres on this with the 21-inch alloys. But for whatever reason, although I can't argue the fact that the car looks pretty decent with the wheel spacers, I do feel that whenever I'm driving the car and I'm going around a roundabout, or I'm just going around like a corner, like at let's say at some speed, it just feels like the car wants to just wash away. Like there's a bit of like an understeer effect going on. I've not really felt that before, you know, with like any of my cars running wheel spacers. Now some of my cars have been rear wheel drive, you never used to get that kind of like an understeer effect. I never really used to get like that understeer effect on this Audi before the wheel spacers, but there's just something that's not feeling right. I mean, day-to-day driving is not a problem, you know, it handles pretty well as it is, but occasionally it just catches you out when you're going around a roundabout. It just feels like I'm having to put a little bit more input into the steering, and I don't know whether it's the spacers that is creating that effect, you know, onto like say the input, and I'm not sure whether it's the spacers that's making the car understeer. And I just want your feedback to kind of let me know, or drop a comment in the comment section below if you had very similar issues on your 21-inch alloy wheels or your Audi Quattros running spacers, because this is the first time I've noticed something like this and it's kind of pulling me off. I do like the way the spacers make the car look, but I'm not sure if the spacers are ruining the drivability of this car on a day-to-day basis. That is something that I really want a discussion about. I want you guys to let me know your thoughts if that's something that you guys have noticed on your cars. So just something to note is that since I've had the wheel spacers fitted, I've not really done the four-wheel alignment or a geo setup. I mean, in my humble opinion, I'm kind of thinking all I've done is put wheel spacers on. I haven't really fettled with any thrust angles or camber adjustment or lowering ride height, which could throw out, like, say, the alignment. But is that something that I should just do for, like, you know, a good measure? Again, let me know your thoughts on that, because I could be wrong. You know, I might be thinking I don't need to do it, but should that be something I should do? The other thing I would say is that it doesn't happen all the time. Like, I could be driving and the car's absolutely fine, then all of a sudden I might take like a bit of like a corner or a bend, and I'm just kind of thinking, oh, why is the car just like kind of washing away a little, and that's kind of ruining like the driving experience. And I don't know, I'm just a little bit confused on this matter right now. And your input on this, if you can just drop a comment below, or just give me some of your recommendations or your thoughts, you know, that could really help me like rectify some of the issues I'm having with this car right now. I must say though, I do like the way the car looks, and I don't really want to be, you know, taking the spacers off the car. But equally, if the drivability of the car is not there and I'm getting a horrible kind of driving feel, then that might be something that I'm going to do just to make the car drive a bit better. The other option is to obviously fit some aftermarket alloys with the correct offset to match the wheel arches, like the way I've done on my Golf GTI. That is an option, but it's quite a costly option, if that makes sense as well, because really, I mean, this car is quite, let's call it, classy in the way it looks, and I don't want to spoil that look with aftermarket alloys. Although I have seen quite a few Instagram posts with some of you guys on your A7s, you got some fantastic wheels, and you know, I'm always kind of like swayed, you know, is that something that I should be doing to mine? But I do like the way this car kind of sits. It does look quite classy, like I say, and with some of the work that I've already done on the car, I think it just looks quite individual. So if you have found this video informative in that, you know, you're thinking about putting wheel spacers on your car, then this is what your car could potentially look like. Be wary though, because I'm experiencing something that I've not really experienced on my previous cars running wheel spacers. And again, is it because it's quattro? Is it because I've got a square tire setup? Or is it because I've not actually even done like a four-wheel alignment since? Any one of those could be something that's affecting the drive on this, so be cautious about that. I certainly didn't do any research. I asked a few people who have been running wheel spacers and they've not had any issues before I've gone ahead and fitted mine, and I don't know why that is. Is it because I've gone for 15mm all around? Should I have gone like, say, I don't know, a 10 and or a 12 versus a 15 on the rear? I don't know. But these are some of the experiences that I'm experiencing in my A7. So if you have found this informative, if you are able to help, then definitely leave a comment in the comment section below. And hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one, and by that point I might even be able to rectify some of these issues. If you have enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below, and hopefully guys, I'll see you on the next one. Take care, bye.